right, y'all ready? This is the Flash trailer. Let's get it and let go.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay
Craig.
and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not gonna lose her again. Time has a pattern
Ken Carson dropped today.
that it
Not
can't
the
help
biggest fan,
reliving.
but I'll see what's up.
Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You stole my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely
No,
broke
you
the
know.
universe. Zod.
Insane.
We've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
Oh. You are?
Yeah,
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Don't get no better.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future. What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm
Well, we're Barry.
Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are gonna want to see this.
Crazy, dog. Yeah. See, yeah, they even got the Flashpoint story right there. But yeah, bro, I cannot wait. That movie's gonna be insane, bro. Crazy. They brought my nigga Zod in the cut. They got Kara in there. Like, bro, that shit's gonna be insane. Is that Zoom? Nah, it's Flash. CW's Flash is much better. Facts. CW Flash was really damn good. Better? Better, I don't know. Also, General Zod, you said that you need to rewatch Man of Steel so you can see how strong Zod was strong, but like he had that exo suit too, bro. So like that's why he was moving like as fluid as Superman was, but he ain't Superman. That's all. All right, let's see a little bit of breakdown though. Flash trailer breakdown. Let's get it.
Stars, I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the new trailer for DC's The Flash, coming this June, an adaptation of the Flashpoint.
Facts. Flash and Spider-Man are meant to be goofy and geeky. Facts. Just straight up.
Crossover event, bringing back both the Michael Keaton Batman and the Ben Affleck Batman, as well as Michael Shannon Zod from Man of Steel. Who knows who else? I now get why they didn't can this movie despite Ezra Miller's controversies, because everything about this, from the confident tone to the vibrant visuals, from director Andy Muschietti to how good Keaton still looks in that suit. It's all in the lips, baby. All of it has made this my most anticipated superhero film of the summer. It's just what the DCU needs to turn the page, and we gotta break down this trailer frame by frame, because despite it seeming seeming to show a lot of the film. It definitely does. I think the biggest conflict in this movie is something that this trailer doesn't really get into. So let's break
Breakdowns are
it
definitely
down.
boring,
Also,
but,
this
like,
Friday, February 17th, will be
gotta
the
see a
launch
little
day of
bit.
our new channel, The Deep Dive, in which I will be doing more
El promo,
yeah, all
promo.
kinds of great stuff. So
You can go anywhere.
Get to it.
Another timeline. Another universe.
So Barry Allen, tears in eyes, appears in front of his house as we hear the voice of Michael Keaton Batman asking why he's come back to this timeline of all timelines. And the next clip we'll hear Barry say, because this is the one timeline where his mom lives. So this film,
He's
based on
about
the
like
2011
18.
Flashpoint comic event, is altering the storyline rather than translating it A to A. The comic event begins with Barry actually finding himself depowered in a universe without the Justice League, but with his memories still intact. In this universe, Batman is now an uber-violent Thomas Wayne, the Amazonians and Atlanteans are at a war that is causing massive flooding around Europe, so Barry realizes this timeline has been altered at some point, and he believes it is the doing of Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, and later realized it was actually Barry's own doing, in his attempt to go back in time to prevent his mother from being killed by Reverse Flash. There's a lot of other really cool things that happen in the comics. I highly recommend you read this event, but this movie seems to be starting with the choice to go back in time to save Nora Allen, building on Barry's discovery of his ability to reverse time in the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And in this movie, rather than Speed Forcing into a timeline and assuming his own body at that point in history, Barry's Speed Force enabled time travel has brought him to a side universe where he can encounter his separate self in that timeline where Nora Allen is still alive and that Barry is depowered, because if he didn't lose his mom, he doesn't become a superhero. While the Amazonian Atlantean war backdrop doesn't really seem to be a part of this, this is a universe without metahuman protectors, and so Zod went unstopped in the Man of Steel events. And rather than this being a universe
Really,
where
top
Bruce's
5
father,
movies?
Thomas Wayne, became Batman instead of him, it is one where Bruce is played by Michael Keaton from the Tim Burton era. Now that means we might not get that emotional ending of the Flashpoint comics with Thomas's letter to Bruce, but I do think we'll get another kind of cathartic Batman legacy send-off. There is a quick shot
think
of the
this film is
Flashpoint
gonna
Barry
be
atop
so
Wayne
tough.
Manor. Looks like that's the Gotham skyline in the background. Wait a minute, it's so bright. That can't be right. Gotham's supposed to be gloomy. Gloomy! So yeah, this side universe is just too happy, too bright, and I hate it. Meanwhile, back in Main Barry's original universe, there's a quick shot of that universe's Batman riding the motorcycle, blue cape, stubbier ears on the cowl. Yeah, this is Ben Affleck Batman. I expect this story to use Barry Allen as really a facilitator to bridge the gaps among the different eras of DC fans. It's not just a Flash story, it's gonna be a true DC crossover event, and it's gonna be awesome. Next clip.
So why do you want to
Kara.
stay and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives.
Okay, we see a hand flipping a heavy switch, which seems to trigger the editing of the trailer itself. I think one of the reasons this trailer is such a banger is they really did a good job constructing this 3-minute trailer into something that really produces its own hype. We flashed through a quick shot of feet levitating off that same ledge on Wayne Manor. I think this is Sasha Calle as Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. This is Kal-El's cousin, and this may be the first moment she flies in her official Supergirl suit. Now, I love the color shifting in this trailer, from the warm golden tones of young Barry dancing with Nora in the kitchen to the colder blue tones from the moment of Nora's death. Barry's father Henry is now played by Ron Livingston, recast from Billy Crudup in Justice League.
They
Barry's
said
shirt
Dark
in the
Knight
main
Batman
timeline is
and
also
Joker's
shifted
gonna
from
be in
yellow
this
to
motherfucker?
blue, matching the blue wall paint. I think this color paletting will be helpful for us as the film intercuts.
That's a
across
lot,
timelines.
bro. That's
Next
a
clip.
lot.
Time has a pattern.
This movie could
But it
break the
can't
box
help me
office for
living.
real.
Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets.
I love the shot of young Barry running out of the house on the morning of Nora's death, and the sky zips from day to night as adult Barry returns to this memory. And then we see an extreme close-up of Bruce's hand with bruises all over the fingers, meaning this guy still cracking some skulls. He touches this old photo showing young Bruce with his parents, Thomas and Martha. In the TV version of this trailer, we can actually see Michael Keaton
Wayne.
Bruce. Our man has some shaggy gray hair. He's a true shut-in. He has to stuff it all into that cowl. This bookcase wall is his hidden entrance to the Batcave, meaning our man's got to remember Martha to get in. Moving on.
My face. So my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
Okay, so here, main Barry runs into alternate timeline Barry. Main
Patterson
Barry
is the
wears a
best
splash
Batman.
ring that contains a
Debatable.
suit. Alternate Barry doesn't have speed powers.
Sad
And to him,
that this
even the
is coming
idea of
out of the
speedsters
same
and
movie,
metahumans is
Spider-Man
insane,
Across
let
the
alone a
Spider-Verse.
multiversal variant of himself. I love,
Nah, I
though,
have to
how
decide
main
which
Barry
two I'm
eyes
gonna
him
watch.
apprehensively,
go
as if trying to
watch both
figure
of
out
them.
if this could be an imposter who might have been the true Barry who is behind Nora's
I'm
death
so
in another
backed up on
timeline,
Marvel
which might be
movies,
teased by
or
alternate Barry's yellow
all of
headphones,
my,
yellow clothes,
multiverse
yellow being the
movies
color
in
of
general, DC
Reverse
and
Flash. Now, I do not believe Zod is the primary villain of this movie, but I'm also not sure if Reverse Flash is going to be the direction they go. But the trailer later does hint at who the villain might be. We see a slow motion shot
He
showing the speed
doesn't know if Zod is actually the main character in this movie. Cuh.
force blasting through main Barry's back and chest and then plunging into alternate Barry's body. I assume this is part of the sequence where they give alternate Barry Speed
Talk to
Force
me,
powers.
Dave.
In this
Christian
instance,
Bale.
using main
Talk to
Barry
me.
as a conduit. I love this
Marvel's
close-up
so
of Barry's
ass
ring
now.
as it spins, the Bolt logo
How
splitting,
come?
and then there's a glimpse of his red
I think they
bodysuit
slowed
underneath.
down,
Assuming this is how
but
his
I don't
suit is
think it's
contained within the
ass.
ring. I just love the practical smoothness of the parts. It doesn't look like a VFX nanotech spilling over the body, but rather a Rubik's Cube puzzle with interlocking pieces. Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne warns Barry about attempting time travel, and I'm so glad they got Affleck for this, because this all started with Affleck and Ezra Miller's wild moment in 2016's Batman v Superman. So from that moment, Bruce must know that Barry isn't going to listen to him and is going to attempt time travel in the future. So structurally for this movie, starting with Affleck will give general viewers a barometer of what era or what universe we start in, so that they'll better understand what universe Barry goes to in the second act with a different Batman, and possibly what resolved universe this movie ends in. Maybe with a third new DCU Batman introduced, or at least hinted at, if they haven't cast him yet. On
Oh! Yo! Them switching all the universes and them actually staying with the timeline is tough, bro. Cause even they got the OG one when he was in the desert. I don't know which one that is, bro. That looks like him with like Blue Beetle shit. God, bro, this shit is gonna be tough.
the next part.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Yo, Bat Sign is ass. Nah, that's OG,
waiting
bro.
for you.
I think the
I
blue
created a world
kind of
with no
throws it off, though.
metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
The
So
Batman
Barry
when he
sees
was in
on
the
TV screens
desert
a similar
was
broadcast
tough,
Zod
bro.
made
You
in
know,
2013's Man
you
of
know.
Steel to call out the other Kryptonian hiding on Earth, though I don't remember his
Nah,
face
this
being
is
this clear
hard.
in those. And then we see his world engine pummeling Metropolis as it did in that film. So
I was just about to say that. This is exactly how I knew that General Zod was popping up because of, or Kryptonian in general, but it's because of that ship right there, that gravity shit, on Man of Steel, when they fucking crushed the whole Earth and shit. That's so wild. Imagine a machine shifting gravity, like, bro.
So it seems like Nora's death was around the same time
You're
as
dead.
Zod's attack in Man of Steel, and that
You're
battle
dead.
will be the apocalyptic backdrop of all these events, except now there are no metahumans to stop
Seen
him,
leaks
or
of
at least they need a
Ant-Man,
metahuman to step
Quantum
up. And remember, after we revisited the Battle of Metropolis from
Minion, I
Bruce's
think it would
perspective
take
at
it
the
back.
opening of Batman v Superman, I love that we revisit it now from the perspective of Barry, or maybe from both
I
Barrys.
see that
Before we
Ant-Man,
got that epic crane shot
I
of
did
Bruce
watch the
stirring
trailer
up
for
in
that
anger
too,
while he hugged that
Quantumania.
kid. Now it's this
Need to
shot,
watch it
alternate
again,
Barry
this
looking
shit
up,
is good.
but you can see his hand trembling in fear. Barry finds his scraps of this Kryptonian suit with the House of El sigil, but in this universe, probably did never belong to Kal-El, but rather to Kara Zor-El, Kal's cousin. In the comics, it's a skinny, pale version of Kal-El that they find in the government captivity, Clark having been there since a young age with minimal human contact, and now it seems that they have swapped that version of Clark with Supergirl for this movie. And I think it's interesting because back in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, Zack Snyder intentionally put an extra open Kryptonian cryo chamber on the Kryptonian ship that he heavily implied contained Kara Zor-El. And then we see the exact moment from Man of Steel where Zod's ship first encountered the US military in the desert, and whereas in that film, Kal-El was there to go with them so there wasn't a conflict, at least not initially, now Zod completely torches the soldiers. Then moving on to my favorite moment of this trailer.
Want some help?
Oh, man. I'm gonna see what's up, King. It just gets better and better.
You are.
Yeah,
Batman.
I'm Batman.
Oh yeah, I like to have energy! What I don't like is feeling like the only way to do that is chugging a giant energy drink. It's a lot easier to just pop a one-shot energy chew. Okay, so just gonna try one of these chews.
El promo,
At least 2 grams of it, and I'm- and well,
promo.
concentration
Hell
with a
fucking
natural with
promo,
percent.
my
And
man.
for the
Get
cover
back
and the
to
TV
it.
version of the trailer, one of the berries totally uncovers it. There's a bat wing hanging from above, though I don't remember the Burton Batcave having a waterfall. Like the Christopher Nolan Batcave definitely had a waterfall. I may just be misremembering the Burton Batman films. Now the scoring is a music box rendition of Danny Elfman's classic theme, giving this whole Batcave an antique vibe. And I love the difference between the berries and the reactions. Our main berry squints up trying to decode this Batman variant, whereas alternate berry is wide-eyed, having never seen any Batman up close before, even though this is his universe's Batman. Andy Muschietti uses a similar camera movement as the dramatic glides that Tim Burton would use, but I love how the drama is undercut by not all of the bulbs being lit above Batman's head. Most are out, actually. Again, we're looking at kind of an antique store Batman. It's kind of like the opening to the Phantom of the Opera with the monkey music box playing leading to the sweeping 80s gothic score. And you just gotta love the meta callback to the iconic 1989 moment.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Hey, that crook, by the way, Christopher Fairbank, who played Olaf in Star Wars Andor, several other roles over the years. I love to see both this guy and Michael Keaton having huge careers, both of them having shared that moment in 1989. On to the next clip.
Still getting active. So tough. Don't get
Okay,
no
here,
better.
Danny Elfman's score doesn't even try to hide itself. Batman does a 10 out of 10 dive to take out these soldiers. It looks like there's a lab at the base of a silo. Looks like the same location where Barry finds the Kryptonian House of L suit. And that lab actually kind of looks like where he transfers his power to Alt Barry. I'm assuming this is the place where they rescued Kara. The trailer editing matches this move with the two Barrys back in the Batcave. I always love in moments when movies double an actor and they play around with the blocking like this. Like clearly Ezra was shot on two different planes. Falling behind the Barry in the foreground just sells that illusion. Actually, at one point, the studio wanted Robert Zemeckis to direct this movie, and as a director who perfected this kind of VFX and blocking in Back to the Future Part 2, and some really uncanny seamless VFX in movies like Forrest Gump, he really could have made an interesting choice to do this, but I gotta say, Andy Muschietti is totally crushing the visuals here. Okay, back to the Batfleck motorcycle chase. Armed men and
I don't know
armored
how they
Humvee
do that,
flip a
but
police car.
that's
Notice
lit.
many of the buildings around them are covered in construction scaffolding. We could be in Metropolis here, still rebuilding after past conflicts. A quick shot shows Kara flying upward, cradling one of the berries in her arms, maybe seeking to power him up with a bolt of lightning. Moving on.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back,
That
there will not
scene
be
is
a future.
tough. When they go back to back, that scene crazy.
Okay, Barry watches the ground cave in around the Gotham City Hospital. You can see it on the ambulance there. But also, there's a sign in the upper
Christian
left
Bale was
reading
definitely
Martha
the best
Wayne
Batman.
Institute. Also, probably Bruce, philanthropically
That's
found in the
what I'm
wing of the
saying.
hospital
Dave
for his
Totsky,
mom.
bro.
So what's causing the ground to crumble here? I'm assuming the world engine completing its terraformation, affecting Gotham all the way across the bay from Metropolis. We see Barry speeding up the side of a crumbling building. Actually, maybe we will see a battle in Metropolis where someone was just focused on evacuating as many civilians as possible. We get a quick moment of Barry with his love, Iris West, but it looks like he is speeding through this and only gets to spend really a millisecond with her. We see the two Barrys, both suited up, dueling colored speed forces, skidding to a halt, just touching boots. Now the Barry on the left is Alt Barry, wearing pieces of an old bat suit that they modified. You can actually see the spray painted yellow bolt on the Batman boot and a knee pad. And in the 2021 teaser, he's clearly just wearing a rubber batsuit chest piece that they spray painted over. So confirmed, Alt Barry will get powers too. So it looks like here they're sweeping in to stop Zod's forces from torching any more of the military in the desert. There's a quick shot in the bedroom, a few other
bro,
Warner
okay,
Brothers Easter eggs in the
goosebumps.
posters,
Pacific Rim. If you know, you know.
Pacific Rim, and I Am Legend. Now, the 2007 movie
I
I Am
didn't
Legend
even see
actually
that.
had an Easter egg of a Times Square billboard for a Batman v Superman movie years before that movie was announced by Warner Brothers. We get this quick shot of a batarang attached to a cable, attracting a lightning bolt like Ben Franklin's kite with a key. It looks like this is what's going to initially charge the bolt that goes from one Barry to the other. Again, Robert Zemeckis, Back to the Future. It's all over the place here. And we get this gnarly close-up of these bolts zapping through Barry's cheeks and his face, one popping off its tooth. Yikes. From behind, we see Kara punching Zod in the face, his face shield folding and collapsing from the impact. In the desert battle, Main Barry spins and creates a cyclone. Look out, Pocket! Tornadoes hate that guy. We get this quick shot of Kara with her heat vision, her House of L sigil and suit back intact. And then we get our best look at Batfleck's gray and blue suit, yellow utility belt, mesh armor plating. This looks so fucking sick. They
Telling you,
actually
bro, that's
pulled
just
off a
OG.
blue and gray suit Batman in live action.
OG.
It looks like right before the shot, he had to bail from his motorcycle, and he's now skidding, using that grappling gun to hook the car and ski behind it. And before we
Shouldn't
move
all
on,
this fuck
there's a
with the
very quick
original
shot
talent.
of alternate Barry
Yeah.
kicking someone
I
else
bet you
trapped
they'll
in a
explain
fiery
it all,
cyclone. This might be the one that Main Barry produced.
in the
Now we know the
movie type
kicker is
shit.
alternate Barry
It'll-
because
it'll
look at
all
that
come
helmet.
together.
That is a
'Cause
Batman
even,
cowl with the ears
in
shaped
the
off. But in
comics
that
and all that good stuff, it's hard to follow along when people are going back in time and shit fucks up this timeline, but then you got to worry about the other verse over here and shit. Like everything kind of gets messed up, but it's like a domino effect. You just got to pay attention.
That cyclone, that is a thinner figure. I wonder if that could be a third
Supergirl
Flash.
does look
Maybe
good in
that
this
dark
one, God.
Kryptonian Flash that's been rumored for this movie. That could be the true actual villain of this movie's third act. On to the next clip.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
Okay, Batman and Barry are breaking Kara out of her facility, like the moment in the Flashpoint comics when Barry and Thomas freed Clark from his containment. Based on Kara's potato sack clothes, it looks like a facility in Russia. I love the framing of all this. It looks like it was all in one shot that they broke up a bit for the trailer pacing, but you have to imagine Kara was actually framed perfectly behind Batman's raised hand for this entire shot, and it's only revealed when he closes his fist. Now the trailer unfortunately cuts through all of it. I get it for the pacing, but I just would have loved to have seen this shot unbroken in the trailer. We'll have to wait for the movie, I guess. But Kara moves with the speed and the momentum that we are used to seeing Kryptonians move with in the Snyder era of these films. I love how they match all that blocking. And they take her back to Wayne Manor, where behind her on the table, you can see the red and blue of her Kryptonian suit, waiting to be tailored into her new suit, which we see her flying in the final shot of the trailer. Now I want to end this breakdown with a few extra shots that were only seen in the TV version of this trailer. So in this shot, Barry prepares to speed off. His eye coverings extend down over his eyes, and if you look closely, you can see a digital interface in those eyepieces. A shot of Kara floating in front of Zod in the desert battle, just gorgeous shot composition with the dark plumes of smoke behind her. There's a quick shot of Affleck Batman firing up his motorcycle, and we can see he is in the back of his airship, meaning that he drops down into the chase from the air. You can actually see him landing on the street a few seconds later in this. And then the Keaton Batcave has at least 7 different bat suits. Some of the chest logos have been damaged. One of the cows has goggles on it. This is likely the suits that they used to get the parts to make alternate Barry's new suit.
After
Now, if you
Flash
brighten this
resets
image,
the
you can
universe,
really
you
see
gain
the
a full
differences
view.
between the suits.
There's a
On the
poster
left, that suit has
for
gun
already.
holsters, maybe
Yeah,
a year one Batman.
I actually saw the I don't know if it was a trailer, but I've seen like clips of Blue Beetle. I have heard of it, King.
When he was still using firearms. Then to the right of that, a blue cowl. And I just love how Keaton
Batman
Batman
movie
and
with
Batfleck
Nightwing
think
and
alike
Robin,
at different
for
points of
sure,
their
for sure.
lives. And then to the right of that, the 1989 bat suit. That's one with the emblem that's damaged. And then front and center, obviously, the one he wears in this movie. And then behind that, to the right,
Blue
the
Beetle's gonna be
1992
lit.
Batman Returns suit. And then to the right of that, a scuba bat suit. And then the one with the goggles seems to be a desert bat suit. Again, Keaton and Batfleck parallel thought, as we know.
God, that's the hardest suit. Talk to me. If you know, you know, bruh.
Oh, and the Batman vs Superman Nightmare sequence, Batfleck totally had a desert suit. Now again, we may not get the Flashpoint Thomas to Bruce letter,
That
but I do
suit
think
is
the
so
resolution
tough,
to this
bro.
movie will be the formation of a new DCU. And with that clarified universe, the hint of a new Batman to set up the Brave and
Here
the
it
Bold
is,
in
here it
James Gunn's
is.
upcoming slate. I mean, think about it. They have 2 Batmans. Wouldn't it make more sense to have at least the promise of a third? Again, subscribe to our new channel, The Deep Dive, launching this Friday with 5 premium videos that you are gonna love. Follow me on Instagram.
That was a pretty good breakdown. I cannot wait for the motherfucking film to drop though. That's gonna be insane, bruh. For sure, for